Crimson Tide faces a devastating blow as team captain Tim Keenan III goes down with a significant injury that will sideline the 320-pound defensive tackle for multiple weeks through tightrope surgery. And this couldn't come at a worse time heading into the college football season opener. The loss of Keenan represents more than just missing a starter. We're talking about losing the anchor of Alabama's defensive front, the big-bodied plug that opposing teams have to account for on every snap. On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of significance, this injury hits somewhere around 7.5 to 8, and that's being conservative. When you're facing a Florida State team that's likely going to try establishing the ground game with Gus Malzahn's offensive philosophy, losing your captain and primary run stopper creates a massive vulnerability. But here's where Alabama's depth comes into play and why this program continues to reload rather than rebuild. James Smith, who missed time during fall camp but appears healthy now, brings ultra-talented potential with over 300 snaps of experience from last season. Jeremiah Beeman has been making waves after breakthrough performances during spring practice and into fall camp, while transfer Kelby Collins from Florida has looked impressive and versatile enough to play both inside and at the bandit position. Don't sleep on players like Edric Hill, Stephen Bumpus, and Isaiah Faga either. These guys have been waiting for their opportunity. The secondary looks absolutely loaded with playmakers like Damani Jackson and Zabian Brown anchoring the cornerback positions, plus the safety tandem that should make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. When you see the athleticism and length of players like Damani Mustard at 6'4" or 6'5" with those incredible arms, you realize why passing against this Alabama defense is going to be extremely difficult. That's exactly why Tommy Castellanos in Florida State won't try beating Alabama through the air. They'll have to establish the running game if they want any chance of success. The running back situation presents another storyline with Jam Miller sidelined, but don't panic about Alabama's ground attack. Richard Young brings that nasty running style that can break games open, while Daniel Hill at 250 pounds running north and south creates a nightmare for defenders trying to bring him down. Drayan Washington adds that bowling ball mentality with some serious moves. And don't forget about Kevin Riley, who coaches say might have the most shake of any running back on the roster. When offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb calls Jam Miller the man, you know his absence matters, especially in pass protection situations. But these guys have the talent to carry the load. The offensive line faces questions with Jaden Roberts' status uncertain due to concussion protocol, but Cam Dewberry and Geno Vandermerk, nicknamed the Swiss Army knife for his versatility, provide capable depth at guard. With tackles like Caden Proctor and All-American Parker Brailsford holding down the edges, plus the leadership and experience Brailsford brings as a captain, this unit should function effectively even with some shuffling. Looking at the receiver core, Ryan Williams has an over-under of around 66 receiving yards for Week 1, and that seems like easy money on the over when you consider his explosive potential. Jeremy Bernard continues being underrated despite his consistent production, and with players like Rico Scott adding depth, this receiving unit has the weapons to exploit Florida State's secondary if the Seminoles focus too heavily on stopping the run. The key matchup comes down to Alabama's ability to stop Florida State's ground game without Tim Keenan anchoring the middle, and whether the Seminoles can establish enough of a running attack to keep Tommy Castellanos comfortable and control time of possession. Weather could factor into this equation, making the ground game even more crucial for both teams. Alabama still deserves confidence getting 2 touchdowns in this matchup because the talent differential remains significant. But losing Keenan definitely makes things more interesting. This injury situation perfectly illustrates why depth matters so much in today's college football landscape, where championship teams need to win 16, 17 games throughout a grueling season. Sometimes these setbacks create opportunities for other players to step up and contribute to something special, and Alabama has the pieces in place to weather this storm. Stay locked in with our channel for all the latest Alabama football updates, injury reports, and game analysis throughout this championship chase. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss breaking news on the Crimson Tide's journey back to the top.